Hi, this is Steve Nicollerat from Coach Baseball Right. We've been getting quite a bit of emails on hitting flaws and such, and people wanting to ask some opinions about. And as you guys know, in past videos, I've talked about bat drag, I've talked about casting, I've talked about rolling over too soon, I've talked about the back foot squishing the bug, I've talked about arm barring. But one of the things that I haven't mentioned yet, and I think it's important that I begin to mention it now, is sort of like the silent killer of the swing, and it's called timing. If a player has bad timing, and I think most young players do, high school kids on down, if a player has bad timing, everything else in the swing, all the sequential parts of the swing, pretty much go by the wayside. So what I want to do is, as an example, is take a hitter that has a big high leg kick, because those are the guys that are most at risk with timing. And I kind of want to walk you through just a couple places. All right, here's what's important. Your front foot heel needs to be planted when the ball is anywhere, let's say 10 to 14 feet in front of the plate. You need to have that front heel down by that point in time. If the front heel is not down at that point in time, your timing is bad. Okay, if you have a high leg kick, I can pretty well tell you by the time the pitcher gets to release point, okay, at that time you're going to be at the highest part, your apex of your stride. I can tell you when the pitcher takes the ball out of his glove, you're going to start to actually be loading back into your backside. So if we miss these points, if we miss these points in the swing, there's a good chance we could be late. So the number one thing I want you to remember when you're watching a kid swing is to do this. Put a cone out in front of the plate, maybe 12 to 14 feet out in front of the plate. Start throwing batting practice to him. Notice when the front heel hits in relation to the ball. If the front heel is hitting after the ball passes that cone, he's late. And that's a really good visual, and you'll have to actually film that and show the student. So to recap, timing is an issue. We need to make sure that we're on time. The front heel needs to hit, front foot heel needs to hit when the ball's, 10, 12, 14 feet in front of the plate. It needs to be down. For a player that has a leg kick, we need to make sure that he's at the top of his apex of his stride when the pitcher actually has the ball up at a release point. And the hitter begins to load back into his backside. He begins to load when the ball breaks from the pitcher's hand. When the ball breaks from the pitcher's hand, that's when we begin to load back. It doesn't mean we have to pick our foot up at that point in time. It just means that we need to start the process. Anyway, I hope this helps, and don't forget to take a look at all of our great stuff at CoachBaseballRight.com.